Welcome to the fourth in our Style It Out series in partnership with F&F. Today we're talking about styling out as busy mums, from interiors to fashion. Both ladies are going to tell us how they make everything look effortless and cool, or not, and also how you can still stay fashionable and stylish in your home space whilst living busy lives, because you're busy ladies.
Knackered.
Yeah. Styling it out, but really very tired.
Yeah.
This time, I've got some very exciting guests. Friend of the brand, all-round stylish woman, Louise Rowe, and another all-round very stylish woman, also friend of the brand.
Women.
Two stylish women and friends of the brand, Zoe Hardman. Hi, both. Let's start with what we're wearing.
So I love the idea of balancing out a very loose, easy, casual look. So oversized shirt, which is F&F, so are the jeans. And I love the faded blue. I'm very particular on my light blue wash, especially in the summer. And these are quite wide-leg jeans. But then jazzing it up at either end, I suppose, with a bit of party. So silver shoe, silver statement earring, and you're very much the inspo for that.
Oh,
You
I
do,
love
nice.
that.
Because I
Thanks
think
so
the
much.
accessories can be extremely glamorous, and then the rest is cash, and I like that. It's
Well,
good.
you look amazing. Like, I'm looking at you and I'm thinking that you haven't just worn the outfit, you've properly styled it up. You look amazing.
Or style it out.
Gorgeous.
You look amazing too. Tell us what you're wearing. You're both rocking F&F denim.
We are both rocking F&F denim. I've gone for a slightly darker wash. Again, wide leg, which I really love, because I was actually worried about wearing wide leg being so petite, because I think that it might sort of shrink me a little bit, but it actually does the opposite.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's quite elongated.
It's a new thing for me, but I'm very much into it. And then I just obsessed with polka dot. It's giving.
That's gorgeous.
It's really cool.
I
Pretty
didn't
woman
see
vibe.
that.
That has been the best part about doing this podcast, is seeing everybody pick different things that nobody else has spotted.
There is a buttery,
Yeah.
lemony yellow shirt. It's probably your fault because you probably talked about it and it's sold out. As soon as that comes back, in fact, I'm not even going to just forget I said that. It's mine. I'm getting
Hands
that.
off.
I love it. Oversized, pop the collar.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
So
and
cool.
they've got the most beautiful broderie anglaise oversized shirt and trousers to match as
Yeah.
well. But no one's allowed to go and buy
Is that
as
the
well.
blue and white, or is it just white?
Is it the
white?
cream? I think we've got
Lovely.
that upstairs.
White. I've got it in my pile.
There you go. There you go. We're
And
all
a
going to
big
be walking around
bag
the same
to
F&F.
take it home in.
We're here to talk all things fashion, but we're also here to talk styling out in your life as mum. So let's start at the beginning. Hang on. Let's start at the very beginning. How did you meet?
Did I meet you just as I'd come out of trekking in the Grand Canyon and I came to your house when you were living in, and I was pregnant and no one knew?
I knew you before that, but you did do that. It's cool when you've known people a long time and supported each other through jobs, babies, getting married and all that stuff.
But also Louise was like, for me, the first person that I thought, genuinely, she is the most stylish, beautiful, kind of pushing the boundaries. She was living in LA. I sort of had a major girl crush on
that.
Lou when I first met her.
Aw.
And she's bloody nice, which is quite irritating.
I know,
Someone
I was
says to
about
be
to
a cow,
say
and she's not. You've always been such a good supporter of other women, and you haven't changed and a second for a second.
Ditto, very much ditto. That's
bit-
very kind of
There's a
you.
lot of girl love in the room today.
I love it. Here for it. Tell me about how your styles have changed. Each of you,
my God.
you know, personally, since then. Has it changed? Has it changed?
Has
since
it
you've become a mum,
changed?
since you got busier?
Some of the stuff that I wore, there is Google, and I wish there wasn't, because I cannot look back at it. It has evolved, thank goodness.
It's
I think
evolved.
I found my style, but it's taken a long time.
Did you find your style once you'd had a family?
I lost it for about a year afterwards, and then I feel like I found it again now.
If you hadn't had, like, we've all got those photos and it's experimenting and it's fun, and at the time you thought you looked a million
So
times.
hot.
And that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think you need that. And who's to say it won't evolve again? But I do feel very comfortable in, you know, how I dress and feel, and that's nice. I think confidence comes with a bit of age, perhaps.
Are you the same? Can you look back at the past decades and be like, what was I
I mean,
doing?
my teens were the Spice Girls.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's come back around, actually. Like baggy trousers that are basically
All Saints.
falling off you. Yeah. I would rather have less pieces that I know will stay in the wardrobe. And it's just, again, actually, if we are going to talk about like life hacks for making life a bit less chaotic in your head, I'd rather have less pieces that are better quality, that fit into a sort of capsule wardrobe, that the palette there's still bright colour in there, but it all kind of goes together. Versatility, something will go with 10 different items, not just 2. And because I've got this capsule wardrobe, I feel the fun of dipping into a trend here, seeing that lemon yellow shirt, adding it into the mix. it's really enjoyable. It's not like a pressure. And I don't know, it should be fun.
Yeah, of course.
And also you can dip into the trends that are right for your personal style, right?
Yes.
Like there's everything's on trend these days. There's a million
Yes.
trends out there. So actually you can still pick the ones that are right for you.
That's such a key point, actually, because I think that people sometimes fall victim to, or at least it's not their fault, but they think, well, I should be wearing that because it's on trend or everyone else is wearing it. But actually, you really need to figure out what works for you. And that comes from trial and error, lots of different big ticks in the boxes and maybe some crosses, but you can try different things and really figure it out. Don't fall for everybody else is wearing it, therefore it'll work for me. F&F have loads of different trends that will work on anybody's shape or style, which is
So
why
true.
I love it.
So true. There's no typical day for anyone. But what are the, Louise, you were talking about the things that fit in your style and you know what that style is. What does that working wardrobe look like for you for your typical day? Or when you're shopping, what are the kind of themes you have in mind that you're like, okay, this is going to work in my everyday, in that rotation?
Really great pair of jeans, maybe a pair in white or cream, and then your brown. For me, I said I love a sort of a real like washed out blue.
Nice.
A few shirts, some crisp, some more relaxed and soft, more weekendy. Definitely a blazer or two. I think those are key.
Agreed.
At the moment, I size up a couple of sizes, give it a bit of an oversize, often wear it draped over my shoulders. I love a good knit. I'm always cold, so from a practical standpoint,
She's always cold.
I've
Load on
nothing
those jumpers,
changed.
yeah.
I've
You're not
always
cold
got-
today, surely.
No, I'm boiling today.
Very hot today.
But a lovely chunky knit or a cable knit or a cardigan. I love those cozy pieces that you can drape over your shoulders or even tie around your neck. I love those. And those are absolute staples. But I also really look for design details. So a broderie or a little bit of embellishment or embroidery. F&F have got plenty of that, and I think it doesn't have to be overt and really in your face. It's actually the subtle details that I think are so elegant. Like you were mentioning the cream, I had my eye on that. Maybe you got one of the last ones.
I did.
It's really elegant, and I think that people will notice that. You will notice that, and that's what feeling luxurious is for a woman. Is like about what you notice.
I feel like you like something
love
pretty as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Feminine.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but mixed, I think.
Yeah.
The sort of, I love tailoring. I will always look at the men's department as well, by the way.
Love.
Tip.
That's
Great
a great
advice.
tip.
Yeah.
I never thought to do that for F&F.
Yeah.
Great. Because I've had, this is my fourth. So look, there's no shortage of the women's, but I could have also been looking
There
at
you
men's.
go.
I love nothing
Okay.
more than wearing one of my husband's oversized jumpers.
Yeah.
With a
Oh,
pair of
yeah.
cycling shorts, great pair of
So
white socks,
cute.
trainers, cute. Sunglasses were off. He gets really annoyed.
Yeah,
but
mine is
I
a bad
love it.
sharer. Yeah. Bad.
T-shirts.
sharer.
I love men's T-shirts.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
the cut's just a bit more boxy.
Yeah.
Even blazers. I think you want to try it on if you can. But there are set jumpers, definitely. Yeah. A cozy jumper.
And like a denim jacket, like anything that's supposed to be
Yeah,
oversized.
especially for spring, summer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, love that. But Zoe, what about you? What are the staples in your wardrobe?
I'm really active. I'm always rushing around. So I like to wear trainers quite a lot, even though today I'm in heels and my feet are really not liking me for it. So I love like a wide leg kind of slouchy trouser, maybe like a satin or a cotton pair, especially for spring, summer. I've got loads of really great white T-shirts, black T-shirts that I'll tuck in. Again, like Lou, I love a blazer. I love a leather jacket. Like I've got I've got like 3 or 4 that I just look at every single day and just think, can't wait for autumn.
Don't wish it away. No.
And then I'm live in activewear, and F&F have got amazing
they do.
activewear as well. So anything that's high waisted works on me. And yeah, I mean, I'm rushing around, as I said, constantly after the kids, flying from one thing to the
Ever
other.
do a workout with Zoe?
Oh, really?
You
She
are.
hardcore.
You take that back.
Literally one of the most hardcore cardio classes in LA,
Wow.
where everyone's very competitive. Like, and even the trainer, the guy who runs the class, was like, "Wow,
Oh, really?
the pace on her when
That
she
explains
runs."
those arms. I mean,
So yes, activewear is your
it's your
bag.
thing. How often do you work out? Every day?
I haven't got time now.
Right, that's where I was getting.
But what's happened is that it's now bled into my children, and I promised myself that I would never be that really annoying competitive mum.
You're the sports day mum.
Kit, Kit sports day yesterday, fastest kid in the school, just going to leave that there. And when he got his medal and trophy, I was going, yes! I was like, that's my boy! And Zozo was like, stop shouting. It's really embarrassing. And it is. I can't post the
He's
video.
got good lineage. He's got good, mum and dad. It's pretty
Yeah.
sporty spice there.
But no one likes us now.
But you know what matters? He won. That's what counts.
Exactly.
Who cares?
I work out probably 3 or 4 times a week. If I could
Okay.
get 4 in, it would be a dream.
Yeah.
But
How do you
3
balance that?
have to get up really early.
Do you?
Yeah,
What
we
time do you get
tag
up?
team. My husband gets up at 5.
Yeah.
He trains, and then we switch over. I bring the kids to the school. Then we hand them over. People think we're not together, which is really funny. It's like he's out the big bed because people see me handing the kids over to him. He's in his sportswear, and I'm like, see you later. And then I drive off. And one of the
funny.
mums was like, is everything okay? You know, is everything okay? And you're like, everything's great.
Two workouts to fit in.
Exactly. And then I go and train. Then I start my day.
Okay, got it. Wow,
It's
that's
a
quite
lot of
hard.
juggling.
Talk to me about then the schedule, the daily juggle. Like, what does an average day look like for you? You're getting up at 6 to train. Then what?
Oh my God. I am flying by the seat in my teeny weeny pants the majority of the time.
I mean, you did a breakfast show this morning, right?
yesterday morning and month. Yeah.
What time is that when you do that?
I have to get up at 4:30, out the door at 5. But that I love that job. That's really
Yeah.
great.
Okay.
But then when there's like, and then you've got to go do here, and then you've got to go do your own podcast, and then try and parent at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then you sit down at 8:30, and my husband goes, "Any time for me?" Absolutely not. There is a lot going on. The juggle is real, but I guess it's kind of, this is a period in our lives, right? I'm in my 40s. I feel like this is the time to graft. Finding the pockets of joy is my new phrase, where I'm really willing to work as hard as I have to. I want to be with the kids as much as possible, and I want to just enjoy my life.
It's now. It's happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think, very obvious thing to say, but actually we agreed, work our butts off.
Yeah.
And I launched a company 3.5 years ago, and it's all or nothing. And I get up very early as well, but I'm a morning person. So for me, I like it. It's quiet for an hour and a half, and I get so much more done in that time.
Do you work in
than
that
I
time?
do. Yes. I get down to my desk, cup of tea, and whether
What time
it's
do you get up?
5.
Do you every day?
Yeah.
5.
But I'm used to it. And
Question-
I go to bed quite early.
I was about to say,
like
what time do you go to
9:30,
bed?
10.
Okay.
If it's past 10, I'm like, woo, because
too.
and that's my routine. So I'm still getting a decent amount of sleep.
Yeah.
That sounds so boring. Of course, we go out for dinner occasionally, but I get to be creative and design things and work with artisans, but also write. And I chose to do that. So I'm giving it my absolute all. And that is, but obviously family will always be first and foremost. And so I think it's like, enjoying the moment right now and those pockets of joy, like you said. My sort of paraphrase of that was a friend before we left. We lived in LA for a very long time, and I remember before we left, and she said, this concept of balance is really rubbish. Like, no, seeking this imaginary balance. If you feel balance for an hour, or an afternoon, like, you've nailed it. Like, enjoy that sort of temporary. And I mean this in a positive, good way. I don't mean this to sound sad.
Yeah.
It's like, it's sort of fleeting. Grab it, enjoy it, and
Yes.
then it will fall apart a bit. But I think the more that you live life, the ups and downs, the more you can recognise a feeling. For me, for example, I know a couple of triggers of, I'm getting overwhelmed, this is a bit much, need to pull back, need to cancel a couple of things.
Yes.
And just go back into family mode. Weekends, for example, are very family, and we
Same
kind
as
of don't, actually, because the week is crazy. And so everyone's version of that is different, but it's knowing your own. Like, I feel like my husband never gets overwhelmed. Everything's fine. He's pretty chilled. He can take anything. But I'm like, I'm here right now. Or if I have a work trip, I have quite like not too long, a certain amount of nights. And then that's
100%
it.
with you, yeah.
You've got your boundaries.
Yeah, totally.
That's
Do
important.
they
gonna say it's
cry when
boundaries.
you go? If you leave the kids, do they cry?
It depends for a trip.
Yeah.
It really depends. And I think I'm the same. Sometimes I'll leave and I'm almost in tears, and other times I'm absolutely fine. And I'm like,
Let's do it.
and my mum always says, as soon as that flight takes off, you're in the zone.
Yes,
And you
yeah.
might as well, because you can sit there being miserable, feeling mum guilt. Or what difference does it make
Yeah.
to the situation? Easier said than done. But if you can be like, right, let's focus on why am I doing this? Why am I going away? What am I going to achieve out of this trip? Let's make it the best thing ever. So sometimes they're a little bit upset.
Someone said something to me today that's it's so tough being a mother sometimes, because we feel guilty when we leave them if we're working or we're going away. Then we feel guilty sometimes when we don't feel bad about it. So we're constantly in this thing of like, oh, I actually don't care that I'm not with them. I feel guilty about that. Oh no, I should be with them. I feel guilty about that. And actually just letting go of that guilt and just saying, when I'm with them, I'm present. I'm an amazing mum. I give them my all. They're so loved, cherished, blah, 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 blah. Wow, that's what we should be focusing on.
Do you agree that mitigating that guilt is also about boundaries, about kind of, setting aside that time to be really present? What do you do in that time? Is it no phones? Kind of how are you making sure that you're really showing up for them?
First of all, I'm an absolute Google Calendar geek,
Yeah.
and blocking out time, because it's so easy that if other people are putting things in your diary, which I have, call here, a meeting here, being able to be like, no, that's sacred, and that, no one's allowed to be in on that. So I love one time. I've got 2 daughters, and actually I think it's really precious. You get something different from them and vice versa. Physically putting your phone in another room.
Yes.
For like dinner, bath, bed, and that is this very special time. But I did, like my eldest daughter, I took her away last weekend for the night, just her and I.
Oh,
and
Lou.
we stayed in the hotel. We
Sweet.
slept in the same bed.
Oh my
We
God,
read
I love
stories.
that.
It was. We went out for dinner, and she was so grown up. She said, "Mummy, I'd like to order." And it was just really
Cute.
sweet.
How old is
She
she?
was 7.
That is so lovely.
Sweet.
Cute.
That's really
We
sweet.
found a treehouse.
I love
climbed
that
it.
you
She
do
made me
that.
climb in the treehouse. I was like,
Actually.
Okay.
Yep.
This is where the
Active
fun
quality
is.
time. Here you go.
I was like, I can't fit through that trapdoor.
That's for you.
I think that's so special, and I don't know if that's a focus for many people. We talk about it a lot, that we've got 3 who've all got really different needs, but actually we spend so much time as a family of 5. And I know that my eldest turned around to me the other day and was like, I just want to go shopping with you. And I thought, oh my God, I've never taken you shopping.
Can I just say, we grew up, my favourite Saturday mornings being taken shopping for clothes. They do not get to experience that half as much, if ever,
Yeah,
really,
you're
because
so
it's online.
right. You're
It's
so
such
right.
a huge treat to go into a shop
Yeah.
and pick something off.
Because she's my stepdaughter as well, kind of all the rules go out the window. Like, I could be cool
are you fun, Mum?
friend.
Yeah.
Cool friend aunt. And it was like, what do you want? Do you think this is too short? What will Mum say? I was like, you can have it. And then she went, I've never had this experience in a shop before. And I was like, yes, it was just it was precious. And you're right, Lou, that one-on-one time has to happen more.
Yeah.
And it was just so wonderful because, her and I said, right, okay, we can't do anything extravagant today because it's a Saturday morning and we've got to get the groceries done, but we just popped up to F&F. We had a proper mooch around. She got to choose the bits. I was the cool mum / aunt, best friend, where nothing was off the table, and it was just a beautiful experience having that that special time.
Love that. What about your husbands? Because how do you, there's career, there's children. How do you make sure that you carve out enough time? I always think about that expression that's like that your partner should get the best of you, not the rest of you.
Oh,
right?
what?
I know, and it makes you realise that all you do is give them the rest of you. So sit with that guilt for a minute. What do you do? What do you do to try and prioritise a bit of time for each other?
So Dawes said to me the other day, and it's quite personal, but I'll share it. He said, I just feel that I need to know that sometimes I'm at the top of the priority list. And actually I was like, oh, the Scorpio in me just thought, I give everything to everyone. I'm constantly flying around trying to start it out, do this, do that. And then I suddenly thought, you're actually right, that it's not okay for me to come home at the end of the day and then just sit there. I've actually got to find a bit more. If I found it for work and I found it for the kids, he is just as important. And actually, if him and I aren't rocking, it doesn't work. So we love a date night. We love a movie night, and we love sitting up in the kitchen talking.
Oh, that's
till
sweet.
way too late.
Do you? Just the two of you?
Cute. You two are cute.
Oh,
Yeah,
mine
we're
can't
cute.
stay awake past 8 p.m. I'm so jealous.
What?
He just falls asleep all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Not me, him.
Oh,
that would be
him.
lovely. Yeah, he's always asleep. That sounds really sweet. I'm going to suggest that. But he'll
Kitchen
definitely fall
discos,
asleep.
guys.
Kitchen
Kitchen
disco. I love
discos.
that. Lou, what about you?
Actually, our version of a date night is going out with another couple or 2, and there's something it might be to a dinner party or out to a restaurant, but when you've got other mates and like mutual, so you both really love the whole couple, not just one of them. There's a banter level that's up though,
Yeah,
and you
for sure.
really like laugh your heads off. And I think sometimes if you are exhausted at the end of the day, date night can feel a bit like, I'm knackered, or you start moaning, but you won't do that in front of your mates. And so I think that it can be a nice little
that
key.
tip.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a double date or a bit of a bigger gang.
So true.
And you do laugh. I think laughter's the absolute key.
And dancing.
Yes.
We went away for the weekend for his birthday, and where we went, there's like a late night bar, and it was just the 2 of us, and it was like midnight, and we were there just dancing and drinking and chatting, and just and like these people were like, oh my God, guys, and Dozzle was like, I just met her here yesterday.
Oh, sweet.
And this girl was like, oh my God, have you guys just met? And I was like, no, we've been together 10 years, we've got 3
My
kids.
husband.
He was like, play along with it. But we love dancing.
Aw.
together.
I love It sounds like you prioritise friendship with each other, and that's the key to it, right?
He's a good dancer.
Yeah, all that. Yeah. Okay, not friends. Just like dancing, sure.
No, we do.
Can you both tell me an occasion recently where you've had to style it out, where something in the kind of family life, work life is, there's a lot going on and things aren't perfect, but you've just styled it out and got on with it?
We did go away to Portugal recently. It was lovely, but I left the packing till very, very last minute and, forgot a lot of things, and so ended up having to be quite versatile, doubling up on kids' clothes that would be, pair of shorts ended up being a scrunchie and, various things that weren't there. But I think they don't know or care, or it's funny. And using humour
to style it out,
get through a lot of that.
It's about not taking it too seriously, right?
Yes.
And also, it's different if you have a newborn. There are certain things you need. But I think when your kid's a little bit just above toddler, they sort of find it quite amusing. And, everyone just wearing your husband's clothes again. So
if you find them funny, they find them funny.
Yeah, they do,
They do.
actually.
Yeah,
I
they
think
do.
they definitely pick up on, your vibe.
Yeah.
More pressure.
Yeah. Be funny.
Be funny all the time.
Yeah.
Charlotte, have you styled it out lately?
Oh my God, every single day. I'm constantly styling out my tan. Does that count?
With your tan?
My tan.
How
I'm
do you do
constantly
that?
styling it out. We talk about this a lot. Well, it's about tanning like the bits that are on display, or then like patching
like a
up
builder's
some-
tan.
It's like a builder's tan, except it's fake. So there you go. I feel like the appearance thing, because, and I'm sure you guys are the same, like not only are we busy, I don't have children to run after, but there's a lot of things going on all day and I have to look good for all of those things. And there are also lots of different things with, this morning I had a breakfast meeting and then I had some time to kill in town by myself, and then I had a long meeting and then I had to come here. It's about trying to make your outfit be appropriate for everything all the time,
Yes.
and have your hair done, and it sounds superficial, but
No.
there's pressure
a lot
with it,
to
right?
juggle. There's a lot to juggle.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I hate it when you have to style it out. When I love an oversized hoodie. It's my favourite thing to wear. F&F have got some great ones in. I got one, black one, really oversized, great. One of the kids comes over to me covered in food and just went like that.
Charming.
I was like, oh, there's nothing I can do now. I've got to wear this the entire day. People were almost commenting on it like someone had chucked something down me. But it's in those moments you have to laugh at yourself and go, fine, I've got food all down my really nice F&F hoodie.
Yeah, that's fine. Totally fine. No one cares. It's all, I think basically we're all styling out every single day.
We are.
You're also both massively into interiors. Obviously, Lou, you've got an interiors brand, so you've just finished doing your house. Very exciting. How do you style out having, wanting to have a certain aesthetic, keeping your house and home looking chic, but also accommodating for sticky fingers, messy hands?
I'm a huge believer that a home should feel like a lived-in home, and that means having things. Don't get me wrong, I'm also a neat freak, but I think that I'm not a minimalist, and it's very helpful in that respect that you can have books and a newspaper that's half read, and cups and things I love to see on shelves, beautiful mugs, have a candle lit in a tray on our island, just like this. There's a warmth to having different textures, whether it's rattan, rope, wood, just and beautiful fabrics and cushions. That's what, to me, makes a home. It's the little touches.
Yeah.
And I think that with that comes an absolute beauty in the imperfections. And yes, there's a brilliant interior designer that I love. She's actually just turned 80, legend.
Wow.
And she said, as soon as I finish designing a home, I say, have a party, get your friends over, spill the red wine on the rug, because it's going to happen. So get it over with. And
God, I love
just
her.
enjoy, exactly, just celebrate it.
Yeah,
It's life.
it's life.
It's back to the start where we said,
Pockets of joy.
It's right
Go and
now.
have fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, exactly.
And it's also like the black sweatshirt.
yes,
Just going to happen. What you do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you? Have you taken that approach? Because I would sympathise if you haven't taken the spill red wine on my new carpet approach.
I would. There would be divorce papers being filed if I did that. I mean, Lou and I have got very different interior styles, actually, because I look at Lou's and I'm like, oh, wow, that is kind of how my other side of my personality would style the house. But then the other side of me, which is probably a bit more loud, is like Ibiza, disco, retro, I just a palm tree, I haven't shown anyone this yet, but in our bedroom, the wallpaper on one of the side of the walls is palm trees.
Oh, I love that.
But kind of tobacco coloured palm trees on a crate. It's so cool. And in the kitchen, we've got proper kind of 60s disco retro vibe. So
Cool.
I'm just all about creating atmosphere with kind of bold, big colours. And we love a lot of fun. There's a lot of chaos. I'm definitely not a person that's a minimalist. There's packages arriving every 5 seconds for me, and Dozza hates me for it. But, I just want the house to be filled with things that create fun.
Love that.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I love colour.
Yeah.
I really, really love colour. I love cushions and like Louise said,
too.
textures and stuff. Yeah, I really love all that.
And real life memories. I
Yes.
think that it has to feel personal. I'll go to my parents' house and I will find old black and white photos in mum and dad's
Yes.
album of great granny, this and that. And where, they're going to sort of sit in that album at the top of a cupboard and I'll bring them, frame them. And I think just mixing that in with pieces that you might pick up at F&F or anywhere is a really lovely way to bring your personal story into the home.
So true. Love that.
And also, you just mentioned there as well, little touches like those candles or the room diffusers or things like that can really create that homely feel. You can get all of that at F&F.
The scent. So like appealing to all 5 senses. I think lighting could be one of the most important.
yeah. Oh my
keeping that
God.
low, knowing what wattage.
No big lights.
No.
Never
Spotlights,
turn on
no
the big
thank
lights.
you.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Just switching out the lamp to a more orange, lower wattage in a lamp makes all the difference to the atmosphere in the room.
Yeah.
Getting the right scent. It's the first thing that hits you. People don't even realise what they're breathing in and smelling, but it gives them a feel.
Yeah.
And having fresh flowers and music. Obviously, you don't need to do this
Throws.
24 hours a day.
Yeah,
I love having rolled up blankets by the side of the sofa in a basket.
Yeah.
And then if you are watching that movie and you just snuggle, little touches like that. Anyone can do all those things,
And it can be super affordable.
Yeah.
Also, you say don't do it every day, but if I'm home alone, I will still try to make sure to do those things for me, because if you're into your environment and making your environment, match your vibe, it's really important
What's
to
home
kind
alone
of
like? What's being home alone like?
you guys, it's good. It's so peaceful.
Tell me.
I
I'm so
highly
jealous.
recommend it. What about affordable touches that work with kids? Kind of what have you done to make sure that they're kind of, your home is kid friendly? Are there things that you've bought that you've been like, these are really, this is a good affordable way to kind of, because kids are going to mess things up.
Yeah,
right?
and my worst thing would ever be to create a house where my child couldn't run around and enjoy their life and, do all the stuff that children should do. Like, I never wanted to be that parent that was like, oh my God, don't touch that, don't get on the sofa, don't eat in there. I just can't, that's just not me at all. It's like, let's go for it. But I think you've got to be clever with, rug colours and carpet choices and, like maybe all cream cushions is not such a good idea, but things like, bringing in that sort of stain-proof element to it that you can't really wipe it off. Like, we've got these amazing stools in the kitchen around the island, and they're just wipeable ones. So where they eat their dinner, wipe straight off. You just got to be clever with it. But I just don't want to stop them having fun because I'm worried about something being spilled on my rug.
Yeah, love
Couldn't
that.
care less.
Yeah, clever fabrics is very important.
Yeah.
Print. I mean, you think, how does a hotel do it?
Totally.
They
Yeah.
have a lot of print everywhere. You'll never see a completely white carpet.
No.
I mean, I agree with you, Zoe. It has to be fun. I also refused to hide special things. I mean, anything that could be dangerous, yes. But I actually kept... Sorry,
great.
I'm not that
Disclaimer.
but if it was an antique or a special piece, I just said, that's special. Can you...
Yeah.
And actually,
Yes, they respect it.
maybe I got lucky, but the kids really did. And
Sweet.
still do. So I do, I've had that chat with so many friends. I'm like, I didn't put everything away in the house that for 3 years. I actually kept it out.
Yeah.
I did find them on my decks the other day, and that was really irritating.
Your decks, that's so cool.
That-
So
yeah,
tell us
it's
about
pretty
where
cool.
your decks
They're in my office, and we were in there fiddling around with them.
I was going to say, were they having a little, was it good what they made?
No, Luna was going, bing, bing, I was like, oh my God, stop. I was like, you're not allowed to
That's
touch my
hilarious.
decks.
Your
just
deck,
had to
my
mix.
version of your decks is
It's
like
an
an
antique.
antique table.
A chair, a beautiful chair.
I mean, that's
each
the one
to their
rule.
own.
Don't touch the decks.
Don't touch the decks. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Since obviously we are here in partnership with F&F, can we just give a quick shout out to some of their homeware pieces? We've had a new rolling set of cushions.
Oh, yeah.
For each podcast. Unfortunately, my bum doesn't fit on these chairs with these cushions, but that's a me problem.
These are gorgeous. Can I have a feel?
They're really nice,
they're
aren't
really
they?
nice.
Very
Nice
stylish.
texture.
Really nice texture.
those.
We've also got we've had different mugs. Oh, we've got some coasters today. We've had different mugs for every single podcast, which has been, guys, the breadth of mugs available.
Is that handled from
Yeah.
F&F as well?
Yeah, as this is the tray, as is the vase. There you
And
go.
it's things
Cheers.
like that you wouldn't necessarily think about doing because you don't know how to do it.
Yes.
We've shown you
There
today.
you go. Coming back to identity and confidence and, finding yourself in a new era, a next stage of life. What's your tip for maintaining your sense of self in and amongst all the chaos, all the family stuff? How do you look after you?
That is a big question for a soundbite.
I love
but
it.
I think if you can have a bit of a giggle every day and you get to that giggle however you need to, whether it's a rom-com, a glass of wine, sing a best mate, laugh.
I love that. Yeah, laughter.
Yeah.
I need to feel in nature, in the universe. I take my shoes off. I go for a walk in the garden. I go for a bike ride. I go for a run. I connect with my kids. I need to quiet.
Yeah.
And then everything feels good again.
That's
in the world.
really, spot
advice.
on.
Yeah. And then I go piss myself with Louise. Then we laugh. Drink a few glasses of wine, have a little dance in the kitchen.
All about balance.
It's balance, guys.
There you go. It's all about balance. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having us.
Thanks. Both looking fab in your FNF. A reminder that everything we've talked about and in general for all the latest trends and interiors goodies, you can check out FNF online or in store. That's it for this series. Thank you so much for listening and for joining us. Thanks for being our guests on podcast 4.
Thanks for having us.
And we've loved it. Please do subscribe to SheerLuxe podcast channels if you haven't already. Check us out on YouTube and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.